Follow up, guys. This one's big. This one most people miss. You're missing money, missing money, missing money. This one's huge. Let's go.
Welcome to the Sales Process Podcast, the show for business owners and sales pros who are ready to push past limits and take their sales to the next level. Hosted by Shawn Derrick, founder of Legacy Sales Engineering. This podcast is built for high performers who demand more. More wins, more deals, more profit. We're diving into hard-hitting strategies, real-world tactics, and the latest tech to keep you at the top of your game. Plus interviews with elite sales pros to give you the edge you need. If you're serious about dominating your market, it's time. Sit down. Hold on. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? My name is Shawn Derrick, Legacy Sales Engineering. Episode 6 here of the Sales Process Podcast. We are diving into follow up, step number 5 in our sales process that we're walking through in these first couple of episodes. Man, this one's so huge. So many reps miss this. I cannot tell you how many sales professionals just miss out on so much money in their sales career because they simply just don't follow up, man. I've never understood it. I get it. You get busy, you're out there, you're in the trenches, and you just don't have the systems in place to do it. But if you just figure this out, good Lord, you're missing so much money by not following up. So I don't know if you know it, but 80% of all sales are made after the first interaction. And it's pretty drastic number if you think about it. If you're not following up, think about what that looks like for 80%. Look at how many deals you did last year and multiply that by 80%. Jesus, that's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know how much you're doing, but if I wasn't following up, I know I'd be losing a lot of money. So before we get into this one, guys, I want to remind you, pay the fee, comment, share, subscribe wherever you're listening to. Help us out. It really goes a long way when you share the episode. Let your friends, family members know if they own a business in sales, want to start a business. We'd love to connect with them, see if we can add some value to them too. So hook them up, let them know that we exist. Don't hold back. Don't share it all for your or hold it all to yourself. Hoarder, share the show. Help us out. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. This episode is brought to you by Legacy Sales Engineering. Help you sell great products with great sales process. We do all the stuff that we talk about on these episodes for our clients. Our heart is just to provide you with the know-how to do it yourself and some of the things that you need to pay attention to in your business, in your career, so that you can go do the things that we're doing for our clients and make some money. But if you're too busy, you can't do that, hit us up, legacysaleseng.com. All right, guys. This episode here, man, I'm telling you what, if more people understood how important follow-up is, I just don't think that we really appreciate the missed opportunities that sales professionals just just don't get to hit out. They just miss it every single year, man. And there's so much money out there that we just leave on the table because we're not following up with our prospects. And as business owners, it's a lot of times it's on us. I know that I have not always put the best processes in place, the best systems in place for my teams to win, for me to win in the sales game. And so I look back on my sales career and just I cringe at this one just a little bit because I know that I've missed out on some real opportunities in my life with sales that I just dropped the ball on because I wasn't consistent in the follow-up game with my prospects. So with this, guys, 80% of all sales happen between interactions 5 and 8. All right. You think about that. It takes 5 to 8 interactions for a prospect to say yes 80% of the time. That's wild, especially when you consider that only 48% of salespeople follow up more than one time. Almost half of all sales conversations get one or less follow-ups because about 30% don't follow up at all. So off 70% when you talk about the no follow-ups. So 70% of sales transactions get no or only one follow-up. That is mind-blowing to me. I don't understand it. If you just call your prospects back, guys, after that first interaction, you're gonna get at least one more deal a month. I don't understand it. It's something that's so easy to implement in your business. Only 8% of salespeople make 5 or more phone calls or 5 or more follow-ups of some type of fashion after their initial consultation. 8%. Sad. And we call ourselves sales professionals. I don't understand this. It's such a heartbreaking shame when you think about the people that leave the sales industry because they can't figure it out and they're just missing their follow-up game, guys. I think I said it on a couple shows ago, talked about Brett Attaway's book, FU Money. It's there, guys. It's follow-up money. It's on the table. It's stacked. All you gotta do is make the calls, send the text, and reach out to those prospects and keep bugging them to do business with you. They're busy. They're not avoiding you. People are just busier than ever, and we as sales professionals have to stay top of mind to get them across the finish line so that they say yes to us. So how do you do that? All right. When do you do that? What's it look like? How am I supposed to follow up with prospects, Shawn? A couple of different ways, right? You can do it old school. And if you don't have a systemized process, you don't have a CRM or a system that you use, you can still, keep a agenda, keep a calendar. I actually still keep a Ziegler sales agenda that I track my sales calls in when I go on a sales call and keep pen and paper in there. And I'm using systems. I use automation in my business, but I still like keeping a couple of notes on people when I make a sales consultation. So find some type of way that works for you, whether that's pen and paper, a CRM, uh, using your Google Calendar. I've seen lots of different ways to uh, keep some type of reporting on that, but you need to have some type of process because you can't remember everything in your head. You're going to forget. You got to write it down, put it on paper, put it in the cloud somewhere so that you don't forget. All right. We use a product in our business called Weekend CRM. It's a product that we sell. It's a white labeled version of Go High Level that we sell for our customers. We build custom products for our clients, and you can leverage that. It's $97 a month for the base plan, and you can DIY build a fully automated system for yourself that will allow you to send all types of automated follow up and marketing sequences, sales sequences, pipeline management, all types of stuff. Find something that works for you, though, that you're going to use. Because if you don't like it, you're not going to use it. And not everybody wants a digital product. And I understand that. You need to find something that you're going to use and you're going to like, though, so that you do it. All right. So when do you follow up? All right. I have a process that I use in whatever business I'm in. It's going to look a little bit different depending on the niche, depending on the product that you sell. You're going to need to adjust this a little bit. Understand what buying timelines look like in your industry so that you understand what that sales cycle needs to be paced at so that you're not being rude or overly aggressive. But also don't lay back either because if you got to find that line. It's hard sometimes. So good rule of thumb and what I use is this. I usually make a text message contact or an email contact, depending on the industry, this within an hour of leaving the consultation. I systemize this with an automated text message. We use our program. It plugs in the client's name, and it sends out an automatic text message to them that just says something like, "Hey, Mr. Smith, just wanted to say thank you for meeting today. It was great to talk with you and get to know you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks, Shawn." Very generic, but still has the personalized name in it and just enough to let them know that I cared. Thanks for meeting with me today. I send that first hour, no matter what. And I use a magnet link that I send out that's got it, or a trigger link, excuse me, that I can press. I get a text message on my phone and I hit the button when I'm out of the sale or out of the consultation. And within an hour, that text message goes to the prospect. While I'm in the consultation, if I haven't gotten the yes, and I typically, I'm about 50% of the time I'm closing, first call, 50% buy, other 50% of the time I'm having to follow up. But I want to know if I really need to follow up, or if you're just trying to get me out of your house or you're trying to get me off out of your office. I need to understand that before I move on to the next step. So at the end of the consultation, if I haven't been able to close, I'm scheduling my first follow-up with that prospect before I leave. And so what I'm typically saying is, hey, Mr. Smith, I can totally appreciate that you're not ready to move forward. Let me go ahead and get my calendar out, and let's figure out when a good time for us to touch bases is, because the last thing I want to do is just harp you and bug you and until you're sick of hearing from me. So how long do you think you need to think about this? When would you like me to give you a call? Oh, great. I've got Thursday that week. Is that good for you? Cool. 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock? Great. I'm going to put that on my calendar. I'm going to send him a link, and we've got a call scheduled for a follow up. I'm actually going to typically, I have a callback calendar that I use, that I put people in. It starts a whole new automation process, whole new appointment reminder process, and everything. And I'm booking that consultation before we walk away. If they're gonna to to push me off and bug me, then I'm gonna start 2 days out. If they don't give me, they won't commit. They're gonna hear from me until they tell me to go away. At the end of that consultation, though, if they're not, if they're still non-committal before I just start bugging them, I'm typically going to say, all right, hey, that's totally cool. I understand if you're not ready to move forward. I want to make sure though that you're you're serious. And so if you want me to call you back, I'd love to do that. But if you're really not, if you don't want to move forward, I'd rather just know, so that we can both respect each other's time. And I'm very honest with people. A lot of times I'll even build that into my transitional question that we talked about in the last episode. And I'll just say, hey, at the end of this thing, I'm going to ask you to tell me that you're interested or that you're not interested, and you won't hear from me again. It just depends on what you sell. You need to know what that looks like for you. And it's different for every single industry, every different salesperson. You need to understand yourself and your prospect who you're sitting in front of. There's not a cookie cutter way to do this every single time, guys. If you think that you're going to be able to walk into a home, repeat the exact same process every single time you're there, you're not going to win that opportunity like that. You have to be flexible and understand what your prospect needs from you so that you can get to the yes. And that sometimes you have to navigate that different with different people. So that being said, whatever the follow-up date that we decide on, I'm going to automate that follow-up. And from there, I am going to follow up the next day after that appointment. Next day, if they're still not ready to follow up, I'm going to wait 3 days. Then I'm going to wait 1 week. Then I'm going to wait 1 week, 1 week. And I'm just going to automate. I'm going to keep pushing that out. I'm automating typically follow-up sequences all the way out to 20 to 25 touch points over a year. And then after a year, I'm going to move them into a 6-month follow-up sequence where I touch base with them every 6 months, and they're getting our back in our general marketing campaigns, trying to get them to book new businesses or new business. So you've got to make sure that you're not relenting until they tell you to go away or they do business with you. And that sounds harsh, but I really believe at the end of the day that my kid's college is in your pockets. And if I have the solution that I know is going to solve your problem, then you should buy from me. And I want to know why you won't buy from me if you won't. But I really do believe that I'm going to be able to provide the best solution for your problem if I have a product that meets your need. And I really do believe that with all my heart. So I think that's a big part of it is you've got to believe in what you're selling, but you really have to be able to put yourself aside sometimes and just follow up and do it, and sometimes like, uncomfortably, but do it. And so we use a couple of different methods for follow up. We use a mix of text, email, and phone call. The system that we use can automate all of those for us. And so we build out our follow up sequences. And then in those sequences, if there's a call scheduled, then the system will actually call the salesperson, tell them they have a follow up call, and then ask them to hit a button to connect with the prospect. And those can be unscheduled. We can automate those too. So if you're not using some type of system though, you just need to keep an agenda and a calendar of when you're doing that and actually map those out, put them on your paper calendar or your Google calendar, whatever you're using, so that you don't miss those things. Because if you're not writing them down, you're going to miss them. If you're actually out there in the trenches selling and you're going to a couple opportunities a day or a week, whatever your pace looks like, then there's just no way that you're going to be able to keep. I can't. I know I struggle to remember names and faces sometimes. So I always try to keep good notes, because if I don't, I find myself lost. So just make sure you're following up, guys. There's so much missed opportunity in the follow-up stuff that people just don't catch. So you really have a huge opportunity to multiply your business if you can really follow up with people and get those deals out there that just need a little bit more attention than the first interaction. There's a lot of opportunity there for you. So I hope this helped, and I hope that you got something from this. Um, Share this episode for us, comment, subscribe wherever you're at. And until next week, I hope you have a great one. Hope we added some value for you today. And we'll see you out there at the kitchen table. Have a good one.
This episode of the Sales Process Podcast has been sponsored by Legacy Sales Engineering, helping you sell great products with a great sales process. Visit www.legacysaleseng.com to discover your solution for every step of your business sales process. Subscribe to the Sales Process Podcast wherever your favorite podcast is available, and check out fixyourprocess.com to reserve your seat at our next sales process workshop today.